Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Right. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say here. And so the card we have for tonight is the Princess of Cups. And a very Piscean energy. Very watery, but also airy. And so we have this feeling of a thoughtful emotion. I feel like there's a gracefulness to these emotions, an innocence, naivete maybe, but also just being optimistic about experiencing the world. I feel like there's just a sense of open-heartedness, a pure heart, wanting to connect with others, but also a necessity to be aware so that there isn't an abuse of love, being used, being misled, these kinds of things. Oh, and there goes TT. She's in one of the, I think, the bathroom meowing. TT. That cat is silly. Okay. All right, I want to start here. I see a person who has their arms up. They're in a joyous position. I really feel that you are in a place where you are truly honoring your nature. You are feeling yourself. You are listening to those wants, those desires that are arising in yourself. There's kind of this movement towards wanting to have connections with others. I think that, and this one here, I know some of you will say, okay, it looks like a cat, Lenor. This is a cat. Kind of does look like a cat. Looks like TT a little bit. But I'm seeing this as kind of a trickster being, okay? And maybe that is still the cat. If you're like TT, you're naughty. Naughty girl. And so I feel like there is just not, listen, it's not, you're not doing anything terrible, okay? But there is a feeling of wanting to kind of step away from some of your normal responsibilities, kind of breaking up some of your normal routines. We are in that time of the year, especially if you are in the northern hemisphere. We are in summer, and officially in summer now. And so it makes sense. You want to do some things that you usually don't do. You want to go out. You want to, go to some events, see your people, enjoy yourself, maybe, some leisurely things, maybe do some more stuff outside. If you're like myself, I live in a place where it's very cold for a good part of the year. So when we have nice days, we're outside as much as we possibly can. And that's why I'm doing my reading so late, because busy outside every moment that I can get out there. So you know, I feel like maybe there's this feeling of wanting to go, you know, to a place that is kind of like you're among the crowd. You're lost in like a sea of bliss, merriment. I almost kind of, and I'm sorry, that's my cat tearing up her little, little scratching post. A place, something like a festival or a concert. You know, something where there's like a lot of people there, to have fun, to enjoy, to dance, to, you know, meet people, meet old friends, all of these kinds of things. I feel like, you know, there's just such a draw to this. But now, and I'm keeping this in mind, we're talking about a Pisces. So I have a feeling that it's almost like you want to do all this. You go through the steps, you know, you save your money, you go buy your ticket, you know, you figure out your driving situation. Maybe you're, you know, carpooling with some friends or whatever. And you get there and you're like so excited. And then you get into the thing and it's like, oh, wow. There's a lot of people. This is really loud. You know, I don't know. I think Pisces, you all are just, not that it's that you're just homebodies, but you're just low key, right? You're very like kind of chill people. You want to do things that aren't, you know, so elaborate, so energetic. You know, just so many people's energies, like a sea of them. And like, ideally, yeah, it's going to be all love and all fun. But then it's like hot. There's a lot of sun. And this is northern. Maybe it's in the southern hemisphere. It's cold. It's a little rainy. There's a lot of mud. You know, so I feel like you get there, you're into this thing, and there's a real sense of wanting to retreat. You want to go back to your own space. And that's all right. I mean, that's just, you know, I feel like that constantly. I have such bad social anxiety and general anxiety. I'm just like, anything could set me into a space of anxiety, but especially when I know I'm going to be somewhere where I'm uncomfortable for like a prolonged amount of time, like all day long. I get this feeling of like terror that like will arise in me. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay, how am I going to, let me check out where are the places I can go and like kind of get a breath, hide from people for a minute, you know. Is there somewhere to sit? Is there, you know, what, all these things that I just kind of like scope it out immediately. Or how can I get out of here? Like, can I call an Uber? Like, how long do I stay before, you know, it's like not rude to go? Or are they all busy enough that they won't notice and I'll just text and be like, oh, I wasn't feeling well, you know? Isn't that terrible? But it's true. It is true. So I feel like there's some amount of this. I just think that you want to be back in your own zone, your own kingdom, doing your own thing. Okay. And now I want to look at okay, so, and this is kind of in a different, this is part of a different part of the reading, a little bit of a departure. And we have a little boat here. It's sailing away from this section. We're going over here. So over here, I see we have, it looks like a crab. Okay, so we have in my mind that there is maybe a Cancer person or somebody who has like, they're maybe a water sign, or just they have like really intense qualities. Maybe another one of their placements is Cancer, but which is like, so I think it would just be really, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Do Cancers and Pisces go well together? I feel like they wouldn't for some reason. I feel like maybe you would go hide away from the world together forever. Nobody would see you again. Maybe that would work. I don't know. But I don't know. I've never known to. I feel like I have to go and like ask a group of Pisces people now. Well, I have you here, so please tell me, have you ever been in a romantic or close friendship with a Cancer person? Do you complement each other? But I think that in this case, this is a Cancer person who you're just not vibing with at all. In this situation, they look like they have little shoes on. I feel like they're just like running after you, like they're like hanging on to you, like just trying to get their claws, like just like pinched to the back of your shirts. You're like running away. I think that this is a person that, I don't know if you just don't trust them, or they just give you like off vibes, like you just don't, like you're not interested. They're texting a lot. They're like on your social medias, like checking all your stuff out. Maybe they're liking it, maybe they're not. Maybe they're doing like the really weird thing where they don't like your stuff, but then they bring it up to you in a conversation. You're like, okay, so like you've been like, watching my stuff, but you don't react. So like, it's weird, I don't know. Maybe it's just me that thinks that's weird. But anyways, I think that you just really are not interested. But I think that this is a person that's like really, really, I don't know, like I feel like they're very into you for some reason. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but like they could want to just really be your friend. And I don't know what you tell them. They seem like they're persistent. So I think that this is terrible, but what is that called? Where you what is it called? Gray rock? It's like not fully ghosting somebody, but where you kind of just don't even, you basically pretend that they don't exist, I guess. Like, maybe that's the same thing as, I don't know. Is that the same thing? But you just ignore their advances. Don't feed into it. Don't engage if you can. Manage not to. Especially if you, like, don't work with them or they, whatever. Like, I don't know if you block them on everything. Or you just kind of don't, maybe unfriend them. But I don't know. I'm a blocker. I just block people. My block list is so long. But I need like closure. I can't just have some, although I mean there are some just really random, people that I'm just like whatever, and you unfriend them and you forget they exist like within 15 minutes. But if there's somebody who's like really persistent, or I don't know, like recently I had somebody who had like a few accounts that was just, wouldn't stop messaging and stuff, and just block everything, block, and hope that they don't keep showing up on different, whatever, what is the platforms? That's the word. Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's too much. Even like my husband has had people, they go from him and he won't answer, and then they come over, start messaging me and stuff, and it's like, whew. So you just block. I mean, I have no time for any of that kind of energy anymore in my life. I'm not interested. So, I mean, I can't give you full advice, but I think that this person is gonna keep, until you just let it be known, or you just have to block somebody. So, also, I see this dragon here. And it's in the emotional zone. Okay. And it almost looks like there's I'm getting so lost. The crab, okay, is turning into, over here, it looks like a knight. Not the same person, okay? Just two different things. But I feel like, this is like, I feel like you are in two positions when this kind of thing happens. You either like really just want to, come with the fire, big emotions, like burn it down, get out of my life, leave me alone, right? And sometimes we have to do that. We have to make a stand, let them know, and remember, right? The other is the knight, which is more, I would say, the chivalrous, or, kind of going about things diplomatically, right? Where we just kind of try to be nice, don't engage, or don't even be nice. If you, have ever had to deal with somebody who, even if you give them a little inkling of niceness, it's still like, it feeds into it. So you just have to kind of be emotionless, like totally, So I think it's like between these two things, like, you go back and forth. But I think that ultimately it's just, I don't know, dealing with a Cancer person, I feel, my belief, and, this is my anecdotal, and I will say, if you watch any of my Cancer readings or Virgo reading, I talk about these both a lot because they cross over a lot for me. I'm a Virgo, and I've had a lot of Cancer people in my life, so I feel like I know them well. But usually with Cancers, like, it just, there's a lot of intellectualizing things and over talking things, and the inability to, well, it's not an inability, but it's just like maybe a configuration of not being so forthcoming about their true emotional stuff, right? And you kind of have to coax it out of them. But when it's somebody who is like that, and you don't want to kind of, be involved in those emotions and that, it's kind of just like, you just have to, I don't know, just step away from it. There's not a real good way to resolve that type of interest from somebody like that. Because, I don't know, they're like oddly persistent and optimistic people, even though they seem like they're not super optimistic. They stay the course, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So, I don't know, just beware. Be safe, of course, always be safe. That's the big thing. Whenever I talk about these readings where there's somebody interested that is, it's not like, it's an unrequited interest, just be careful. Especially because you're in this Princess of Cups energy where you are kind of really feeling very positive, open, maybe to some degree like nurturing, pure of heart, all of these things, tender, right? And you just want to be loving and accepting and kind. And, you know, some people just cannot understand that you can be nice, but also unavailable to them in any way, you know. So you just have to be careful about that. You need to protect yourself. And, you know, make sure that at least somebody in your life knows about what's going on, just in case. You know, this world that we live in, we have to be very careful and vigilant about our safety, especially on the internets and things like that, but also in real life. Let's see. So I do feel like I see these two little things together. It almost looks like two little snails, but, or slugs, but I kind of feel like, oh, something's like coming up soon where you're gonna go like visit your parents or something, or maybe like an elder family member, and you're going to be able to spend some time with them. And I think this is interesting because with all of this like kind of blissy, positive energies, I get the impression that you're also really open to wanting to hear about your family, about your origins. So I think this will be a good time for you to kind of take note of some of those family stories, childhood stories, whatever it is. Ask questions, get details. Even if you record it, voice record it, do a video, take notes, whatever, you will be thankful later on in your life when, you know, people are gone and there's nobody that remembers that time, or they weren't there. And you know, our memories are not the best. So, having these things documented, when you have the chance, you will never be sorry. You will never, ever be sorry about that. So, I think that's a good idea. Also, it's a really nice way to connect with somebody you love, is just letting them tell you some stories if they are agreeable to it. So, I want to thank you so much for allowing me to bring you these messages. I'm always so honored. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it's helping us get into the algorithm, and we are growing this channel, all of us together here, our community at Ula Tea Leaf Readings. We have surpassed 10K. We're doing amazing, you know, and a big thanks to you because you are part of that growth. If you have not subscribed, please think about doing that as well. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. We're on a schedule where I read every sign once a week. And so between now and about 7 days from now, you can watch your other placements and do some cross-watching if you want. Other than that, if you want to leave a comment, I read all of them. I appreciate each and every one of them. And I try to get back to them as quickly as I can. Sometimes it takes a day or two just because life with a toddler, if you've had a toddler, you know. So anyhow, I want to thank you, and we will talk again really soon, Pisces. I hope you have so much fun if you are getting out there in the world and enjoying yourself.